Every 4 years, the FIFA World Cup takes over the entire planet. Billions of people watching, stadium packed, nations celebrating like nothing else matters. It looks like the greatest football event ever created. But what if I told you that's only the surface? Because behind the cameras, behind the goals, and behind the celebrations, the World Cup is also a multi-billion-dollar power game, and almost nobody talks about it. Why do countries spend billions just for weeks of football? How did FIFA end up at the center of massive corruption scandals? And who actually benefits when the world is distracted by the game? Because the deeper you go into the World Cup system, and the less it feels like just football, and more like something completely different, something built on money, influence, and power. Today we'll talk about it in this video, so let's break it down. First, you need to understand one thing. The FIFA World Cup is not just a moment. It's a business empire. We are talking about broadcasting rights worth billions of dollars, sponsorships, deals from the biggest brands in the world, global marketing campaigns that reach nearly every country on earth. For FIFA, the World Cup is not just an event that happens every 4 years. It's their biggest source of power and income. And when that much money is involved, things get complicated. Now let's talk about something that raised serious question in the football world. How World Cup hosts are chosen. On the surface, it looks simple. Countries apply, votes are cast, and the best bid wins. But over the years, multiple investigations have raised concerns about the transparency inside FIFA's decision-making process. Some officials were accused of unethical practices. Some cases led to global headlines, and suddenly fans everywhere started asking the same question. Was every World Cup host chosen purely for football reasons or something more? Now, whether you follow football or not, this is where things start to feel different, because hosting a World Cup is not just about football. It's about building entire cities inside months. New stadiums, new highways, new airports, massive infrastructure projects, and the price tag. We are talking billions, sometimes tens of billions of dollars. For some countries, it becomes the most expensive sporting event in history. And here's the part most people don't think about. After the final whistle, after the trophy is lifted, after the world moves on, some stadiums are barely used again. Empty seats, empty halls, massive structures built for a moment, left behind for years. People even have a name for them in some cases: white elephants. But the story does not end there, because there's another layer to the World Cup that goes beyond money and stadiums, and that's the power. For countries, hosting the World Cup is more than a sporting opportunity. It's a global spotlight. For 1 month, the entire world is watching your country, your image, your leadership, your culture, and in international politics, attention like that has value, a lot of value. That's why the World Cup is not just a sports event, it's also a stage where nations present themselves to the world. But while government sponsors and organizations operate on one level, fans experience something completely different. Because on the field, none of that matters. When the whistle blows, everything disappears. The politics, the money, the business. All of it fades into the background, and what remains is football. The magic moments, the last-minute goals, the underdog stories that nobody saw coming. A player becomes a hero in second. A nation celebrates like never before, and for a brief moment, the world feels united. And that's the contradiction at the heart of the World Cup. On one side, a global business empire worth billions. On the other, pure emotional sport that brings people together like nothing else can. Both realities exist at the same time, and that's what makes the World Cup so powerful and so complicated. Because no matter how many controversies exist, no matter how many questions are asked, and no matter how much criticism the system faces, people always come back every 4 years, because when the game begins, nothing else matters, at least for a moment. And maybe that's the real reason the World Cup will never lose its place in the world. It's not just football, it's emotion, it's business, it's power, all at the same time. If you enjoyed this documentary, hit the like button and subscribe for more football stories, hidden truths, and untold realities behind the world's biggest sports. And now I want to hear from you. Do you think FIFA World Cup is still just about football, or has it become something much bigger? Let me know in the comment. I'll see you in the next one.